Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Wealth and Wisdom Weekly. My name is Colson.
What's up? I'm Elijah. Today we're at Danny Beyer.
And thank you to our sponsor, National VA Loans. So, Danny, tell us, where did it all start?
Wait, we'll make it a little easier. Are you from Iowa?
Yes.
We always like to start off with that.
That's awesome. I'm from a small town, Monroe, Iowa, PCM school district. You have to drive around Monroe to get to Pella. That's how most people know where Monroe is. And so there's an ice cream shop there, Jersey Freeze, some of the best ice cream in the state. If you're ever on a road trip, that's what I would recommend, or why I would recommend you go to Monroe.
What's your go-to ice cream?
I'm really boring. I love vanilla or a turtle sundae. I'm a turtle sundae connoisseur. So, that's awesome.
What's on a turtle sundae? I've actually never heard of a turtle sundae before. Really?
It's like a banana sundae?
No. It is vanilla ice cream with caramel and hot fudge and pecans.
That's that's some
combo.
good ice cream,
It's
actually.
a good combo.
Yeah.
Leave with that instead of vanilla.
Yeah, we're starting the conversation in the deep philosophical questions.
Those are the questions I like, just the personal little questions, though.
100%.
So,
All right.
go
ahead.
My bad.
Go ahead.
So, as we all know, you're the mayor of Dallas County. You know, I said Dallas Center.
Center.
I messed it up twice now.
It's all good.
I said
Okay.
Dallas Center Grimes last time. Now I just said Dallas County. Oh my lord! So, you're the mayor of
Dallas County.
Dallas Center. Yes, Dallas Center in Dallas County.
So, what made you want to become mayor? Did you have something you were born with? Like, say you were a leader, you were just born a leader? Is there issues that you want to solve?
I love this question. So I wish more politicians and more of the United States political system would follow this. I was actually having coffee with a mentor of mine before deciding to run for mayor. And he said, he's ex-military, former military. And he said, the best leaders are the people put into positions who don't want it or who don't seek it. And I looked at him and I said, you're a dick. Because now I have to run. And he goes, yeah, I know you have to run. So the more broad answer, I had moved to Dallas Center. I had been involved in the West Des Moines community where my wife and I lived, and went in to turn on my water. Told the city clerk at the time, hey, I'm interested in Parks and Rec, planning and zoning, some of those things. I want to get involved. I'm new to the community. She looked at me and she goes, nope, you're going to run for council. So
it's a big step up.
30 seconds. And she's telling me, no, you're going to run for council. And I said, excuse me? And she goes, yeah, we have a council opening. I think you'd fit better there. I said, okay, tell me more. She goes, well, I'm going to introduce you to our current mayor, have coffee with him, talk to him. And if he green lights, then we'll, have some more conversations. Had coffee with him. He's like, yeah, I think you'd be great for what we're doing right now. So I put my name in the hat. 30 days later was the council meeting, and they appointed me to city council. 2 months later, I had to run, and I got elected. And so I have lived in Dallas Center, Iowa for approximately 32 days without being in some sort of public service role. Fast forward 6 years, the current mayor called me and said, I'm not going to run this fall. I'd like you to run. I said no, and I hung up on him.
Brutal.
He called me back and he goes, you have to run. And I said, I know, but I don't want to. And he goes, too bad. And he hung up on me. And so that's really what pushed me into it.
You're just forced into it.
I was forced into it. No. My tagline through all of it has been connecting Dallas Center, because my goal, my mission in life is to help build bridges, help build connections. And with where Dallas Center is and was, it's been the role of a lifetime for me to see how the city's changed and the opportunities that have come to us, part that I've been a part of, part that I've just been able to experience. But it's been really cool and one of the greatest things I've done in my life besides my wife and kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What would you say one of your greatest accomplishments is of being your position as the mayor?
As the mayor?
Mm-hmm.
The coolest thing, so the greatest is through COVID and the year after, we doubled the size of our library and built a brand new swimming pool in town without raising taxes. That's the greatest.
How'd you do that?
Local option sales tax. So you don't want all the details on that right now, but it was a great tool and we used it and it's working. The coolest recent thing is I got introduced to an individual who does solar panel power for cities. And so he builds all the infrastructure. He gets all the tax credits because cities aren't eligible for those. But then the savings by buying solar power from him versus regular generated power from Mid-American is saving us around $10,000 to $15,000 a year. So we, through my connections, got that done, and he built us a solar panel pavilion in our town square that is now open and ready for bands and concerts and all kinds of cool stuff come next spring.
Wow.
So that was pretty sweet.
That is super sweet. Yeah. You have any more? Elijah? I know I've asked him tons of questions before, so I don't want to just take over the playing
I'm kind of
field.
curious. What is the bow tie charity? I saw that on your LinkedIn.
On my LinkedIn.
I didn't know about this. Yeah. This is intriguing.
So back in 2012 was when I first started wearing bow ties. I still wear them, just not as regularly as I used to. But a buddy of mine and I realized at the time that we were getting a pretty big social media following because of bow ties, which sounds ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
Or would you post them on
just on Facebook?
That's a niche though.
Because that's all there was in 2012. And so we ended up designing and implementing a bow tie ball that we launched in, I believe, 2012 and ran it through about 2016. And through those 4 years, we were able to raise around $100,000 for Variety, the children's charity.
Nice.
And it was all centered around getting people together, getting dudes to wear custom bow ties, and then eating and drinking and having a good time. So
that's a win-win there.
It's a pretty cool testimony too.
It kind of reminds me, we have this kid in our school named Taylor Barron. He does Fun Tie Fridays. Every Friday he'll dress up in a suit and tie and put it on Instagram every week. Of course, he doesn't raise money, but it's still, it just reminded me of that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because that's how we started.
It's coming soon.
That's how we started. Taylor, talk to me if you want to start that.
I don't know if he watches this. So I don't know if he will, but
we're growing slowly.
Yeah. I love it.
I guess this is only our 4th episode, so
I'm honored to be the 4th guest.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
What would you say a day-to-day for being the mayor? Meetings?
Yeah.
Is it lots of meetings?
So it's not actually some clarifications. Dallas Center, Iowa is a town of about 2,000 people. We have an incredible staff. There's about 7 or 8 full-time individuals. And if you guys, listeners, whoever picks this up, if you get into a leadership role, one of the best things you can do is have great people surrounding you who you trust to do their jobs well. And right now, that's exactly what I have at Dallas Center. My public works director is incredible. My city administrator is incredible. The staff that works for them are all amazing. And so I don't actually have to do a ton as mayor. It's around probably 5 to 10 hours a month each month. It's nothing
really
crazy. Yeah, time-wise. But I get to help set direction. I help set how meetings are going to go. I run the city council meetings, all of those things. But day to day, not a lot, depending on, what time of year we're in, what opportunities are out there. To your point, Elijah, I probably have, a couple meetings a month, nothing crazy. But
so do you have to not be in an office every day, but do you just go once a week, or is it just online meetings? I know you have to go to the board to, I don't know, I guess. Do you have another job outside of this?
Oh yeah.
So
So the mayor of Dallas Center is mostly just a volunteer role. It's not a paid full-time gig, anything like that. Full-time job, I'm a financial advisor for Iron Horse Wealth Management in Johnston, Iowa. So that's what I do between the hours of 9 to 5.
Are you the founder of this?
I know I'm not. I wish I was, because that would be a cool spin for your podcast. The founder, Dennis Marcoy, founded the firm 11 years ago. I bought in as a partner 3 years ago.
Okay. Nice.
So I'm an owner, not the founder.
Is that the crest on your
It is not. This is just a lapel pin of the brand of the jacket I'm wearing.
Okay.
So it would be cool if it was a horse.
What brand of jacket is that? I've actually never seen that.
It's Italian.
Really? You don't even know?
Oh,
I don't know.
Fancy.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. So how long have you been doing the Bankers Trusting for? How many times have you given that presentation?
This is my first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your class was the very first one. So you had a good group. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, a whole lot of not talking. We didn't have a ton of questions.
We got it out though.
I guess.
It was good. It's good towards the end.
What do you look to when you do those? What do you look to impact? Like, how do you look to impact people when you do give those speeches and
Those
stuff?
talks. So again, depending on where your listeners are, where you guys are, I wrote a book, The Ties That Bind, Networking with Style. You got a copy of it.
Thank you.
Yeah. I wrote that in the first edition in 2015. The second edition just came out. I wrote it because I graduated from Central College in 2004. I got my communication degree, my paper that said, congratulations, you did it. I went back to Iowa State and graduated from their MBA program in 2016. And even though the book, the first edition, had already come out, I will tell you the people in the network around me are more valuable than those pieces of paper. The pieces of paper will open doors for you, but the people in the network that you surround yourself are the things that are going to push you through that door, sometimes wildly kick you through that door. And so I wrote the book for, I would say, junior, senior in high school and then college students, basically to teach and share the things I wish I would have earned or I would have learned earlier in life. Simple things like how to have engaging conversations, how to express what you want out of life, how to figure out what you want out of life. And then one of the crucial takeaways, I think, for your group as well is being willing to help people, meeting people where they are and helping them because people are going to help you. And so it's a karma thing, whatever you want to call it, but really moving the world forward one relationship at a time.
And I'm going to tell Elijah about it because it's mostly just he had a blog back, I think you said you started 2012, right? Or is it 2000?
Yeah, it was right around 2010, 2012.
Sorry, 2010, 2012. And he scrapped the first book, actually, because took it to a publisher and said, I can't remember exactly what he said. He said, can you help me? Actually,
yeah.
I completely forgot what he said.
No, the first go run, the publisher said you need to write a book that's 10 to 12 pages per chapter and 10 to 12 chapters. That's a good airline book. That's a good business book.
And then, so he told him, you told the publisher about your blog that you had, and the publisher already said, well, you already have all your content.
Yep.
So he pretty much reformatted and kind of retransitioned the blog and put all into that book. So it's his experiences that he's had. So it's a pretty good book. I haven't read it yet. I'm planning on reading it. I've gotten backed up on stuff, but I do plan on reading it. And I think he would like to read it. He's a bigger reader than I am. So
yeah, absolutely.
Check it out.
I can get you a copy.
He can get you a copy otherwise, but I can lend it to you otherwise.
No, absolutely. I've got some in the car. I'll get you one at the end of the podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You just hand them out.
To people who are actually going to read it and put it to use, yes, I will give it out all day long.
Do you have like a certain, I guess, marketing strategy for your book? Do you have it on Amazon or?
Yep. So it's available through my website, dannybeyer.com, because I'm uber creative. And then it is also on Amazon. If you just search Ties That Bind, Networking with Style, it'll come up there as well. So thanks for the plug.
Yeah.
Go buy it.
Yeah.
How long have you actually been mayor for? You told me that you have only lived in Dallas Center for 32 days without being mayor. So how long have you actually been mayor?
So the 32 days was before city council. So I was city council for 6 years, and then I was mayor. I will be mayor at the end of this year. It will have been 2 years. And so all told, I've lived in Dallas Center for 8.5 years, and I have been on some sort of public service bend for 8 years and 5 months. Is what it comes down to. Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that. Kudos to you. Holy cow.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you advocate for on city council and as mayor?
I would say the two big things that you have to constantly be balancing, and I love this question. If you guys take nothing else, vote in your local city elections, and you'll understand why in a second. But the two things you have to really balance are infrastructure, the required things, city, streets, water, sewer, stormwater, those things, and then quality of life things, parks, rec plexes, libraries, swimming pools, libraries, 100%. Yep. And so those are all things that the city really puts in place. And you will find, and then obviously safety is part of infrastructure, police force, those types of things. And so the cities who do it well and kind of manage both sides of that without going too far into, well, we're only here to do infrastructure, or hey, we're going to avoid infrastructure, but we're going to have a really fun city. You have to balance those all the time, because the only way to pay for those things are with tax dollars. And you all, as you get out into the real world, buy your first homes, those types of things, that's where the revenue for cities come from, is from property taxes. And so you really have to be careful, because you don't want to do too much of one thing in any year, because then property taxes are going to increase. Your citizens are going to be upset. People are going to be yelling at you. Mm-hmm. At the same time, you don't want to do nothing and lower property taxes to zero, because then you're going to have potholes and you're going to have people upset with you and yelling at you. So
slowly.
Yep. So it's that balancing act of keeping property taxes at an acceptable level and doing projects that make sense with the dollars that are entrusted to you as an elected official.
Do you have any advice for people who are potentially watching this and are thinking about becoming a mayor?
I would say be curious is the first piece. Again, and it's going to be different depending on every town and every city. I was talking to Elijah a little bit before you got here that the mayor of Urbandale, the mayor of Des Moines, is going to have a very different experience and likely much more time consuming than me as the mayor of Dallas Center. But first and foremost, I would say you need to get involved in the community, whether that's serving on city council, getting involved with the park and rec board, the planning and zoning commission, so forth and so on, because that's going to open your eyes first and foremost to what all goes into this. You don't just wake up and turn the water on and there's water there magically. There's a lot of steps that happen out in the ether to get that water to you. You don't use a toilet and flush it and it just disappears into, your basement. At least you shouldn't. If that's happening, you got problems. But there's a lot of steps. There's a lot of things. And then there's DNR regulations. There's all of this other stuff that happens behind the scenes. And so understanding how all of those things work together. I would also say get good at building relationships. And that gets back to be curious, ask a lot of questions, want to understand why people are doing what they're doing, what opportunities are out there, and how you can potentially make it better.
I can't remember if you told us this or not when you were at the Bankers Trust Youth Board, but did you say you were a financial advisor?
Yeah, that's the day job. Yep.
So can you go over how you got clients as a financial advisor? Because I'm actually personally I'm looking into it because I like trading stocks and stuff. Is it kind of a lot of managing portfolios for people, or?
So it can be.
Okay.
That's a very loaded question.
Is there like multiple things you can do?
Right? Retirement plans?
I do retirement plans, but I have some individuals as well. And we could literally talk about this for the next 2 hours and I wouldn't touch the surface. So the financial advising in the financial world is fascinating, because depending on what you want to do and what area of it, there's going to be an opportunity. If you like picking stocks, if you like doing stock research and saying, hey, the beta's out of whack on this, the PE ratios, this is a great buy. Yes, there's jobs, there's opportunities where you can be a financial analyst and you could be the one telling someone, hey, we need to be buying this. You need to be letting your clients know that this is on a deep discount and it's going to have a run. It's absolutely something that's out there. On the flip side of the coin, if you like managing portfolios, so you don't want to be picking individual stocks, but you want to build something that gets to a client's risk tolerance as well as return ratios so that you're getting rewarded for that risk. Job out there. You can be a portfolio manager. I am spoiled rotten in my job at Iron Horse because my greatest skill is talking to people. That's all I got. If you sat me down and said, hey, should I buy Apple? I'm going to make a phone call to one of my coworkers and say, I don't know, should you buy Apple? That's going to be because I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy the research. I don't enjoy the back end number side of it. Can I do it? Absolutely. Do I want to? No. And so to your question, when I was hired on at Iron Horse, I was up front with my then boss and owner, that I don't want to be building portfolios. I want you to educate me on why our portfolios are built this way so I can talk about it.
Like a salesman almost?
100%.
Cool.
But I want to go out and get business. I want to get people into our firm because I believe in our mission. I believe in who we are. I believe in how we're doing this. And I think it's better than anyone else in the market. And I have no problem telling people that. So make me look smarter than I am. I will bring people through the door and we'll call it good. And he said, perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And so what I did, and it's going to sound really silly and simple, is I simply set meetings to talk to people, not to sell them anything, not to convince them to be clients, but just to sit down and tell the story of Iron Horse, tell people why I was there, and then sit back and listen. And I would say half those people just asked if they could become clients. I joke with people.
That's powerful.
Yeah, I am through and through a salesperson. That is what my job is. I'm a financial advisor. I'm a salesperson. You can't convince me in today's age of information, relationships, connectivity, that you actually sell things anymore. You build relationships, you build trust, and the people decide if they want to buy from you. But I can't convince anybody to be a client. I can't sell anybody anything they don't want. All I can do is tell them what I'm doing, and if it fits with what they're looking for, we'll work together.
Sweet.
So what's the story of Iron Horse and like what's their mission statement? Since you said you were very strongly believe in it.
So no mission statement. We're not that. Okay. We're not that cool.
The story.
The story. So Dennis founded Iron Horse because at the time, this was 11 years ago, he was a square peg, round hole situation. He knew there was a better way to do the business that would take care of the clients without taking advantage of clients. There's a ton of different business models in here, but we are a registered investment advisor, an RIA is what the firm foundation is. And so he founded Iron Horse to do three things. First, he wanted to be completely independent. He didn't want a broker dealer, no one behind the scenes saying, hey, you need to buy this. You need to sell this product. If you sell this product, we're going to give you a trip to Hawaii. Wanted to cut all those ties so there was no outside influence other than what the markets were telling us, what the facts of the markets were. At that point, he also wanted to be fee only. So fee only, you'll hear the terms where we're fee based. Very different than fee only.
What does that mean? Kind of elaborate a little more.
So fee only means my clients are the only people paying me. There's no kickbacks from any fund providers. There's no commissions. There's no trading fees. There's no other ways for me to get paid other than for you sitting across from me to pay me. So we charge a percentage of assets under management and we charge a flat fee for financial advising. Those are the two ways that we make money in this world. Fee-based, they're going to say, hey, yeah, you're the only one paying us, wink, wink, but we're getting kickbacks from these marketing dollars. We're getting soft dollars from the funds we're recommending. And so they're mostly only getting paid by you, but there's some outside influence as well that could be controlling the decisions being made at the table.
So are these stocks or like these certain companies paying you to tell people about their company? And
Yep.
Okay.
So like a broker dealer, like an American Funds.
Gotcha.
Like Charles Schwab or something like that?
Can be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Charles Schwab is also a standalone custodian. So you can just have money there, but you don't have to have it in Charles Schwab stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Again, hours can be had right now. The third then for me, and this is why I joined Iron Horse, were fiduciaries. Just a big word that means I have to do what is in your best interest, not what is in mine. And if you feel that I am making decisions in my best interest, not in yours, you can sue me. So yeah, those three things together make it easy for me to sleep at night because I know the decisions we're making are what is best for our clients. We have all of our own money in our own portfolios. My parents' money is in our portfolios. My in-laws' money is in our portfolios. So when the market goes down and it sucks, we're hurting just as much as our clients are, if that makes sense.
Have you had anybody ever sue you?
No,
Really?
no. There hasn't even been like a threat. So that's been good.
That's good. Yeah.
I've been sued more as mayor than I have as financial advisor.
I don't doubt
How many
it.
times?
So 3.
3?
Yep.
What for?
We've won them all. So
Let's go.
Yeah. It gets really technical into zoning laws. So
Okay.
I'm not sure you
I'm
would
not
spend,
interested.
a lot of time on that conversation.
It's time for another day.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe for like coffee or something.
I love it.
Do you host LinkedIn like social like events anymore?
We used to, and I'm a firm believer. Like we used to do these LinkedIn socials once every 3 to 6 months. I'm a firm believer of letting something go out on a high versus beating it to death and killing it. And so we noticed we had a run where there were a couple events where 250, 300 people were showing up. And then it started to drop off where we only had, 200, and then it got down to 150 and we killed it at that point. We're like, all right, we're going to let it go out. We're not going to keep beating this dead horse. And so I'm wondering or curious if it will be brought back, not by me specifically, but by someone younger, maybe using a different social media platform to gather people and just meet other individuals, meet professionals, do business together.
Did they have to pay to like attend the event, or was it?
We were able to get sponsors to cover everything. So
Nice.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
An idea.
For us to do?
You never know.
Never know.
10,000 subscribers, guys.
Yes.
We'll host it in Iowa where no one lives.
Podcast
No,
get together.
Iowa's the hub for insurance.
It is.
Des Moines
That's
is
true, actually.
Yep.
I forgot about that.
Underestimating Iowa.
Hub for insurance and corn. Sorry.
You're
do
good.
you have any ideas of how kids our age could get more involved? I know you said voting.
Yep.
But is there any other, ideas of how we can get involved?
So I would encourage you literally attend some city council meetings, see what they're talking about. And I will tell you, if you showed up at a city council meeting, if you lived in Dallas Center and you came to our council meeting and afterwards you're like, hey, I got some questions. Can I pick your brain? I will stay there until you run out of questions. I will answer every question you have as junior, senior in high school, freshman, sophomore in college, because you care. And so I'm going to give as much time as you're willing to give up of your own time. I've had a handful of people do that over the years. I can guarantee your current mayor and the 2 people I know on city council would do the same thing. If you guys showed up to a meeting and then you were like, hey, what's the difference between a resolution and an ordinance? Like I heard you guys talking about those things. They'll explain it to you. They'll explain how budgets work for the state of Iowa and how the fiscal calendar does not run January through December. It runs July through June. And so you're like, we're going to be meeting this January to set the budget, but we're setting the budget starting in July of 2024 and running through June of 2025.
Why is that? Why is it different?
Because the state's weird.
Okay.
It's all about timing. And the legislative session for the state happens in January, February, March, and April. And so they want to get through their stuff. And then the cities and the counties are all reporting back what their upcoming budgets are going to be after that, is my theory.
Okay.
It could also just be that's the way we've always done it mentality. And so that's the way we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah. Dude, you have tons of questions. I don't want to ask everything.
Let's see.
Nothing's off the
you
table.
don't got anything.
So.
All right.
No, I got some. So I saw on your LinkedIn too. I did a little bit research. Some about the commerce. You were also part of
Chamber of Commerce.
Yep. And can anybody apply for that, or?
Yep.
And what is that kind of role in, I guess, the community? What are they?
So your standard Chamber of Commerce, and Urbandale has an incredible one, as well as West Des Moines, where I was. It's really a collection of business people, everything from business owners to salespeople to admin to I'm trying to go through all the various pieces, but just various business people in the community coming together, typically at a luncheon, a breakfast, an after hours, something like that. And really the goal is to help increase the business footprint in the community in which the chamber resides. And so Urbandale, there's a ton of smaller businesses. There's a ton of locally owned businesses, and they're coming together to do more business together or to get their brand awareness out for consumers to find them and come shop with them and spend their money there. West Des Moines, same type of thing. There were some larger employers too, so they were funding, various events. They were funding leadership academies, those types of things, again, for brand awareness, for recognition, to let people know they're involved and active in the community. I got involved and I got into leadership and went through the executive board and was chair, I believe, in what year? 2012, something like that. 2013. Don't quote me on that. No, it was like 17. I take that back. And so through that, I just went through and basically volunteered to give more time to the organization to help it meet its goals, as well as to help the small businesses and the businesses that the chamber served meet their goals.
I guess not really a follow-up question, but what is one of your, I guess, long-term goals? Do you have any goals right now that you want to,
I'm working on?
Yeah, you're working on.
So I need to figure out what book this is because I want to make the recommendation. But somewhere I read that the 3 ways to retire successfully in the United States of America is to fund your 401k. So tip 1, you guys get full-time jobs, at least put enough money in to get the full employer match. So do that as step 1, fund your 401k. Step 2 is to either start a small business or invest in a small business. So in 2021, I bought into Iron Horse. That was my step 2. The third way is to have real estate, not only your own home, but have a rental, something like that. And so we actually closed on our rental property in Connecticut in August of this year. So like 3 months ago. And so
how's it feel to be a landlord now? Or did you outsource it to?
No, so technology, we're living in the future, gents. I don't know if you realize because you've been surrounded by technology your whole lives, but here's my quick story on it. We put in the offer in July. It was already listed as an Airbnb property. Like it was already being rented out. So we put in the offer. It was accepted. We got connected with the current owners and they were like, hey, we've already got this rented for the first 2 weeks of September. We know you take possession August 31st. Do you want to keep those renters? Absolutely, I want to keep those renters. And so we took possession August 31st. We had the renters. I talked to them some more and I said, hey, what did you guys do? Because over the winter, this isn't as hot. And she was like, oh, we just had a long-term renter come and rent it from us from October through May. Okay, how do you do that? Oh, we just listed it on Zillow as a rental. You can do that? Yeah, just Google it. You can figure it out. So I Google it. Zillow had a wizard for me to list it as a rental. At the end of the wizard, putting in all the details, it says you want to spend $30 on an advertisement so that this gets top placement for the next 30 days. Sure, $30. Why not? I do that. 2 weeks later, I get a call. Hey, I'm interested in renting your place. Okay, I call the real estate agent that I worked with. She goes, yeah, I can show it to them. They walk through it. Yep, we want it. Okay, I'll send you the lease over. Guys, I didn't have a lease. Like, I've never done this before.
You gotta start somewhere.
And so I get back on Zillow. There's a button that says create your lease. So I click the button. It walked me through another wizard. Do you want to allow pets? Can they smoke? What are quiet hours? All this stuff. I create the lease and I'm expecting at the end of it for like this payment, you have to spend $250 or whatever. No, I get to the end, it says, send it to your tenant for DocuSign. Okay, do that. She signs it. It comes back to my wife to sign. It comes back to me to sign. It says, congratulations, you have a lease. Call my tenant. She's like, yeah, I'm moving in October 2nd. Great. I go back to Zillow. It says set up payment process now. Not making this up. I click that button. If I link it to my bank account and she links it to her normal checking account, it will ACH the sweep out on the first of every month with no fees.
Nice.
That's amazing.
We're living in the future.
I'm not gonna say you didn't do anything, but you practically didn't have to do as much.
I didn't have to do crap.
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
Oh,
well, like,
yeah.
are you guys still doing the Airbnb or is it just the?
So because the market kind of slows down in the winter, she's renting it October through May. My wife is a teacher. So June 4th, she and my daughters are going to drive out there with our dog because she wants to bring the dog. They're going to live out there the month of June. I'll be out there for a couple weeks. And then they're driving back the first week of July, and I got a woman who reached out to me through Airbnb and asked if she could rent it for the entire month of July, starting July 5th, because they're remodeling their house in New York City.
Mhm.
So I have it rented for the entire month of July, market rate, to a couple from New York City. And August 4th is the next available rental date if anybody wants to rent it. But I'm rented all the way up through August 4th.
Congrats,
right
that's awesome.
So
How did you find this property? What made you want to go to Connecticut?
Yeah, why Connecticut
Why?
out of all
this is
places?
an amazing question. So it all comes down to relationships. Everything I do is relationships. I've got a buddy who I met in Des Moines about 8 years ago. He moved out to Seattle and we stayed close friends. He got a job with Amazon. I find out his wife's entire extended family is from this little town in Connecticut called Niantic. He called me last summer and said, "Hey, it's my 40th. Will you come and do a guys' weekend with me this November? We're going to go deep sea fishing. We're going to stay in my place," because they had bought a place out there to do this with. I was like, "Yeah, I'm in." So I go out there. As this town is awesome. It's like a piece of Americana, this cute little 6,000 person town with its own French bakery and its own Irish pub. And like, it's just this little micro economy. So I fall in love. My wife and I had been talking about an ocean house for a number of years. I brought her out in July to visit my friend, to meet the extended family, and also to experience the town. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I love it." While we're out there, the house lists, and it's right across the street from my buddy's cousins. And so we go and walk through it. And then I find out while I'm out there through the realtor, I've got the lawn care people taken care of. I've got the maintenance people taken care of. My buddy's cousin lives across the street. He's like, "Yeah, I'll drive by it every day. I'll let you know if anything looks fishy." All because of relationships.
Oh my gosh.
So
And is it producing positive cash flow right now? Or
it is year one.
this?
That's
So,
crazy.
even with 7.5% mortgage rates.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Pretty high right now. So.
Yeah.
so it's working. We'll see.
Do you think you'll continue on this path of maybe buying some more real estate, or are you gonna
I think it's one and done right now.
want to done right now?
Yep. So my wife's dream has been to have an ocean place,
Mhm.
and it's about a block and a half off the ocean. So we're covered. Heck, we may retire there someday. Who knows?
Nice.
But
That's some perfect timing there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
So you have a rental. Are you invested in any other sort of assets?
so I'm a 10% owner of Iron Horse. I am a 20% owner in a publishing company in West Des Moines called Book Press Publishing.
Is that who you published with?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. And so those are and then the rental. So those are my 3 business interests at the moment.
Cool.
Yep.
I'm going to cycle back to you being on the Chamber of Commerce for that. So when you have meetings for Chamber of Commerce, are you representing Iron Horse? Because like you said, it's business, so you're representing Iron Horse.
So yes and no.
Okay.
When you get onto a board like that, I was still representing Iron Horse everywhere I went. I had like the Iron Horse name tag, but you actually, as you move up and become vice chair and then chair of the organization, you also start to represent the organization in some capacity. And so I would be the speaker for luncheons, and I would introduce myself as the chair of the West Des Moines Chamber, that kind of thing, versus partner in Iron Horse Wealth Management, so forth and so on. And so you don't ever have to volunteer. You can go to chamber stuff and you can attend and you can be there as you two are. The thing is, if I get involved in an organization, I typically volunteer for a leadership role because I'm stupid and I like to give up my time. But there's little things I want to see better, and there's little things I want to help with. And so as you go up, if you do decide to volunteer at the organization and get on the board or the executive board, there is going to be some additional responsibility and duties with it.
Cool. Sorry. Are there any other businesses on the Chamber of Commerce that are kind of recognizable in Iowa, like John Deere or something like that?
Yeah, most of your larger employers are in their specific city's chamber. So like John Deere, most of their headquarters is in Johnston. Mm-hmm. And so they're on the Johnston chamber. With Urbandale, you've got like Marco, the printing sales company, those types of things. I'm trying to go through Urbandale in my head and see what other large.
It's all good if you can't think of them all.
Yeah. Assembled Products, those types of places, they're involved. With West Des Moines, you have like the Wells Fargo campus is in West Des Moines. You've got Athene, they're involved. So you've got some of those larger employers. Downtown, you've got Principal. Yep, they're involved. You've got Bankers Trust is involved in almost every single chamber in the community.
Would you recommend it for networking?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of them also have a young professionals bend. Mm-hmm. And so if you're, trying to go out there and meet people, the young professionals organizations are actually pretty cool. They do things outside of just the normal. We're going to have a speaker come in. Most of the room's going to be there in suits or, dress pants. They're going to go out to Smash Park and have an event. They're going to go try axe throwing, those types of things. So they're going to go out and have fun and get to know each other versus just going to hear a speaker.
Awesome. Yep. That's where you actually make connections and 100%. Stuff is doing that sort of stuff.
Yep.
What would I look up to find one of those organizations? Sorry, meetings, not organizations.
If
like
you just
gatherings.
Put in the city you're interested in chamber, and then just put calendar behind it.
Cool.
They all have it out there. It's all available. Their websites all have a young professional button you can click on to get more information on that as well.
Do you have a certain one you'd recommend? You biased. I know you're on West Des Moines, but do you have a certain one that you would?
I mean, I'm totally biased to West Des Moines because I'm a past chair, but I will tell you West Des Moines, Urbandale, Fuse, which is the Des Moines East, South, and North chambers. They fused together. That's why it's called Fuse a couple years ago. Those three. How many people from Ankeny listen to this podcast?
I don't think any right now.
Okay. I don't like Ankeny, but it's just because their streets are laid out weird.
Imagine somebody comments, I'm from Ankeny. I hate
you. Why isn't he like Ankeny? But they do have a good chamber as well.
Take a look.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I want to do some axe throwing with them.
Oh, 100%.
Are some of the people there from you said Marco, the printing company?
Yep.
The person who's representing Marco, are they also kind of human oriented too in that business? Like you said, you don't like the numbers sort of stuff at Iron Horse.
Yep.
Are there people like that at those meetings too?
Yeah, there's a lot of salespeople. There is going to be a lot of salespeople just in general, but you're also going to have back end people. You're going to have people who are looking to switch careers, looking to network and meet other people as well. So it's going to run the gamut.
Who do you find the most interesting at those?
Oh man, that's a loaded question. So when I give my presentations and I talk about networking, I joke that my goal is to find one interesting person at every event I go to. The thing is, if you ask the right questions, it's usually the first person you talk to. Everybody has a story.
What are those questions you ask them, or what are they like?
The easiest go-to is, what's your story? I think I told you that already. Yeah. The thing is, if you ask really great open-ended questions, the person you're talking to gets to decide where the conversation goes, and you just get to listen. And so, they can talk about where they grew up. They can talk about their job if they want to. They can talk about their hobbies, and then you can just follow up and say, "Oh man, that's awesome! I love you're into that. I'm into that. Let's talk more about that." So forth and so on. And so, having a couple great open-ended questions and then just asking follow-up questions is the easiest way to have an interesting conversation.
That's what I kind of joked with you at the beginning. Where did it all start?
Yeah, that's a big one.
I had something that just slipped it just popped back in. Okay. How many daughters do you have?
2 daughters.
2 daughters?
Yep.
Do you have any more children? Or is it just 2 daughters?
Just the 2. We're done. Replace ourselves. Okay. No more.
How old are they?
10 and 12. About to be 13 and 11.
Awesome.
Hence why I'm wearing a Taylor Swift friendship bracelet.
Taylor Swift? What? How do you feel about her dating?
Oh, I'm all in. Guys, I'm a Swiftie.
Are you?
In. Oh, 100%.
You gotta leave.
She's incredible. She's incredible.
I guess.
Mixed opinions at the table.
You gotta listen to a whole album. Don't just listen to her hits.
I like about 4 of her songs, I'd say. I don't know. Yeah. I don't like all of them.
You don't have to like all of them.
I can't. I don't like every artist's songs. I like just this like.
I mean, she put Travis Kelce on the map, right?
Guess so.
Yes.
I was totally kidding. Don't hate me in the comments.
Then, or?
I am. Yeah. Yeah. What are you?
Raiders.
I'm sorry.
What'd you
Raider
say?
Nation.
You made a poor decision
What
in
did you
life.
say?
Raiders.
On purpose?
No, my dad's a Raiders fan.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm sorry.
But what about college? You Iowa State.
Iowa State.
State.
You went
Yeah, Central.
so,
Go Dutch. Go Cyclones.
I'm not hating on Iowa State fan. So I'm Nebraska. So
Man, your teams just suck right now.
beat
That's
Iowa last
awesome.
year. We're gonna beat up again.
All right.
Nebraska's good at volleyball,
They are good at volleyball. That
Volleyball
volleyball
really
team is
good.
really fun to watch.
bowling,
Bowling.
baseball too. Baseball
Dude, die on that hill. It's good. You're good.
and basketball.
You're good.
They beat Iowa last year in basketball, baseball, football, and bowling.
Congrats.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Congrats.
Ponder that.
The quad fectra.
The quad fetch.
That's all. I hope you get a lot of hate comments now.
Not yet. Not yet. They don't know yet.
I hope the over-under is like 14 on the Iowa-Nebraska game. That would be amazing.
Don't mean it.
I'd still take the under.
Just wait. Just wait.
Just wait.
Just wait.
Send this podcast to me on the day after.
Yeah. He'll comment.
Yep.
Elijah was wrong.
That's
Where's
We'll
my
see.
money? Bring me my money. You guys should place a little wager. No.
Not a gambler.
I bet beer, and I don't think you're old enough to bet beer with me. So
Not yet.
not yet. Look me
Not
up
yet.
in a couple years.
Yeah.
And you can put your beer where your mouth is.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Danny.
Thank
Yeah.
you
I
guys.
appreciate your
It's
time.
been a ton of fun.
Yeah. You're a busy guy, so I appreciate you coming
Yeah.
out
Yeah,
and talking.
of course. Thanks for the invite,
Of
and
course.
listeners, subscribe and keep
Yeah.
listening.
Thanks for
It's
plugging.
nice to hear your story.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Bye.